tujajwale chirunga orugamba kulingwa tujajwale chirunga tulyashemero muyuganesya.
Let me request the Honorable Jackson Katika Mbaju to lead us in prayer, all the way from Kasese.
Let's humble ourselves and pray. Father God, we want to thank you as a National Unity Platform for having brought us from all distances who have moved into this group. Thank you for your protection. And we pray for your wisdom and guidance in this press conference. And whatever we speak here blesses your name. And whatever we receive from here is parted unto where we come from. King of glory, may your Holy Spirit come down and be with us today and forever. In the name of Jesus.
Please be seated. Remember, you lead the church in Kasese? Oh, that he was a pastor before he backslid. Anyway, good morning once again. We want to thank you for coming. This is pretty much our first press conference of the year. We thought we would share a few things. We are delighted to have many of our leaders here. Let me take note of firstly, all the councillors in this place. All councillors kindly stand.
People power. Our power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP.
Okay, those are councillors, both LC3 and LC5, right? Okay, LC5 councillors, where are you? Okay. Thank you for coming. People power. Our power.
Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay, those are LC5 councillors. Speakers, I saw a couple of speakers.
People power. Our power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP. Even here.
That noisemaker there is the speaker of Nakawa. He makes good noise. Okay, we also saw the speaker of KCCA. Now we're going to load the speaker. Authority speaker.
Our power. People power.
Okay, do we have any mayors here? Okay, not yet. LC5 chairpersons. The one of Tambala is here.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Okay, members of parliament. We'll begin with members of parliament, then we shall end with Abachise like me. Members of parliament, I'm told there's a difference. Abachise.
People power. Our power. Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Okay. Abachise. Oh, okay. Yes, I left out a very important element. Flag bearers who were not declared winners, but they carried our flag. Please stand as well.
People power. Everywhere. NUP.
Okay. NEC members, any NEC members here? Of course, many of you fall in both categories. You are NEC member.
People power.
Okay, it's good to see you all. It's good to see you, Mr. Kunga, Chairman Nyanzi. Kunga, Chairman Kunga.
Kunga yongera mu kunga.
It's good to mix around young people. You grow much younger. Bana wali yakabe jakunyamba kwa umbrella. Okay, bagamba nti atie nkuba talya wami na yera. Where is Wale? Ede kuba just njifunye lwa mizindalo nze sijityanze nga nze. Nina gyaba kama baffe bano. Ade bakajigula eno. You know, some of you buy suits and then you leave the tag. This one, eh? Mukajangako akaveera biki. Tuze kwogera byabufuzi, but even these small things, we get to talk about them. All right. It's good to see you all, leaders, foot soldiers, people power, our power, people power, NUP, everywhere, NUP. So we have foot soldiers, then I don't know, marine soldiers, air soldiers. We want to welcome you all and to welcome the media. Thank you for coming. So we could share one or two things as we get started with the year. Oh yes, we also have particular groups that joined us this morning. We have a team from Northern Uganda. Kindly stand.
People power, 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 power. People power. Kunga gulu kunga. Kunga. Kunga kidu kunga. Kunga. Kunga moro kunga. Kunga. Kunga arwa kunga. Kunga. Kunga lira kunga. Kunga. Kunga ru.
Thank you. That man there is called Sebastian. Oh God. We are glad you could join us and we commiserate with you again, the passing of your grandmother, Sebastian. Thank you, Chairman, for leading the team all the way from Northern Uganda. We have seen the formidable team from Northern Uganda. Okay, we also have a team from Western Uganda.
People power, our power, our power. People power. Ibanda kunga, kunga. Kamwege kunga, kunga. Imbala ya kunga, kunga. Kitagwenda kunga, kunga. People power, our power. Kamwege kunga, kunga. Masese kunga, kunga. Musenyi kunga, kunga. Kunga.
Karibu mwenu kuiza bantu. We also have a team from Teso sub-region.
Kunga, Teso, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, Teso, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, kuni, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, soti, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, todo, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, kakaki, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, kakalaki, kunga. Kunga. Kunga, kapela meiro, kunga. Kunga.
Okay, thank you. And we also...
Kunga mbale kunga. Kunga. Kunga kuda kunga. Kunga. Kunga nabisigwa kunga. Kunga. Kunga siroko kunga. Kunga.
Okay, that's what this sub-region. We also take note of the presence of our Deputy President in charge of Western Uganda, the Honorable Joel Mugisha. Thank you for joining us as well.
Uganda yona kunga.
All right. As you noticed, last year was one of those years. Lots of crazy things happened. It was a bittersweet year. You know, there's things we thank God for. One, that we are alive. It is not something we take for granted because, you know, the kind of conditions under which we operate, people die, people are killed mysteriously, and so on. So we thank God we are alive to continue doing what we have got to do. But as you know, there's so many challenges we carried forward to this new year. We have many of our people that are still in jail over flimsy, in some cases, non-existent cases, you know, trumped up charges and all of that. It is our duty as leaders, as members of NUP, as Ugandans, to fight for the freedoms of these people. All right? Because you see, today it is them, tomorrow it is any of us. Whether you are a leader or a foot soldier or whatever the case might be, any of us is a candidate for jail over trumped up charges. So we must keep pressing for the freedom of these people. And so it is a charge to us at all our levels, you know, as leaders, as members, as Ugandans. This is not something that we want to leave to just NUP, because as you have seen, many times we have had people who have come here and they say, for me, I've never even been involved in politics, you know, but I was jailed for I don't know how long, or my person was locked up. So we all must with unanimity say this has got to stop. And the more we demand, the more pressure we exert on those that are holding on to our people. We must direct our energies and our focus and our demands onto those who are oppressing us. That's very important. Sometimes the regime wants us to keep fighting, you know, that you will point at this councillor, you will point at this MP and say, but our people are locked up. Let's go for the real people who are holding onto our comrades. Let's not give them sleep. Because once now we point fingers at each other, we give an opportunity to the captors to sleep. They should not sleep. They should not be free. They should not. They should not have it easy on themselves. And so we must take the demand a notch higher this year to see to it that our people who are jailed up, you know, whether they be leaders like Segirinya, Sewanyana, who are members of parliament, whether they be ordinary supporters, mobilizers, and so on. We have so many people, the machetes of this world, Rashid Sekuja, Olivia Lutaya, a young lady who is just interested in a better country. She has got a little child and she's saying, I must secure the future of my child. And then she gets locked up. And these are the few that are known about. There's many others that are not known about. And so we must take the demand a notch higher this year. That's something that we commit to as a party, as leaders, as members of the National Unity Platform. There's many concerning things for us as a country. And of course, as NUP, we are duty bound. Duty bound to place emphasis on these issues and to rally Ugandans to say, look, this is where the crux of the matter is. I sometimes see certain situations which cause me to be a little bit glad, even though it is not a very good situation. For the border riders and for these politicians, the noisemakers and so on. For us, the elite, who can sit in our air-conditioned offices, these things don't concern us. But the elite have come to realize that they should be concerned too, because as we speak, they are not sure if the money they save in NSSF is safe. And so I've heard them say, hey, but wait a minute. And now they're speaking out. I see them on social media, I see them at functions, I see them on WhatsApp groups expressing concern. And we've been telling them, look, this is going to visit everybody's doorstep. Everyone. For as long as there is bad leadership in our country, nobody will be spared. You might think you are safe in your corner. You are not. It's only a matter of time. And so that's why we keep saying that for us, this should go beyond just us as a party. That every Ugandan should be concerned. You might say the people being arrested today are NUP supporters. Tomorrow your father, your brother, or whatever will be the one picked up. And then now you'll also begin to speak out. So don't wait for that time. It is important that we demand for justice regardless of who it is for or against. Truth must be spoken regardless who is speaking it, you know. And so what is right must be pursued. And so I want to encourage the elite who for a long time have been saying these issues here do not concern us so much. They do. Wake up, smell the coffee. And you see, you cannot fix these things piecemeal. You cannot fix NSSF alone. You cannot fix police alone. You cannot fix the judiciary alone. We have got to fix the country. And so that is the rallying call for all of us as a people, as Ugandans. We must do this. We must get involved in one way or another. Now, getting involved does not mean you must run for a political position or that you must come on a podium here at NUP and speak. But wherever it is that we are, let's make do of the platforms that we have to fight for a better country. Otherwise, all of us will be cooked. Of recent, I have seen, and I think it is some of the elite generally, complaining about the poor state of our roads, especially here in the city. They say, you see, every weekend we are taking our cars to the garage because the roads are terrible. Why are the roads terrible? This financial year that we are wrapping up, State House alone has been consuming 2.8 billion shillings a day in one day. Because the initial budget that was allotted to them was about 600 billion. But they kept, you know, returning for supplementaries up to about 450 billion shillings. So over 1 trillion shillings on State House alone. When you do the maths, that's about 2.8 billion shillings a day. What does this money do? That's the money that should be fixing healthcare. That's the money that should be fixing the potholed roads that we are all making noise about there. You know, so when we talk about these things, some dismiss it easy to say, those NUP fellows, they are just politicians, they have to make some noise and so on. Now it is coming to affect everybody. You might think I'm comfortable in my air-conditioned car. Well, it will keep breaking down because the roads you're driving on are terrible. So all of us are concerned about these things, you know. The noise we make in Parliament, we want to see it out there. Because even as we rely a great deal on Parliament, that Parliament needs to be saved. It needs to be redeemed. I say that as someone who sits in Parliament. You know, that you will speak out, try to emphasize this issue, they say, no, you sit down. That issue is not on the order paper. We can deal with it on another day. But it's an important issue. It is an issue concerning Ugandans. So the sooner we realize that all of us are concerned and must be concerned about these issues, the better. So mine really is to charge Ugandans. Of course, to charge us as leaders, as members of the National Unity Platform, but we have a unique responsibility that many Ugandans, some of whom are not even members of our party, they look up to us. Oh yes, they do. Including folks within the NRM. When we are seated in Parliament, some of our colleagues across on the other end, they will write a note and say, now, Honorable Ssenyonyi, please raise this issue. Me, when I raise it, they will deal with me at the NRM Secretariat. So they are looking up to us. And so we must take up that responsibility as the option and do what we have got to do. So our hope is that this year will be a year for all of us to engage another gear at all levels. This is not a responsibility of just a few. The elected leaders have got a role to play. And we must play that role, colleague leaders who are elected, like I was elected. We must play that role because Ugandans expect us to use the platforms that we have. Parliament, the different councils, mayors, LC5 chairpersons, councillors, speakers, and all of that. We must use those platforms to push for a better country. That's what Ugandans expect of us. But I must say that you don't have to have a position. You have a responsibility too. Let's play that role. The change that we are pushing for is not only going to take elected leaders. As you can see, we keep fighting for our space, even in Parliament. You produce reports and someone is saying, no, you will not read it, and so on. And so everybody must do what they have got to do. The liberation that has happened in this country is that we often talk about, it was not just elected leaders involved. In fact, sometimes you would see ordinary folks standing to the occasion. So my point is, all of us have got a role to play. Let's play that role without fear or favor, without making excuses. As leaders who are elected, as political party leaders, NUP, as members of NUP, as foot soldiers. By the way, foot soldiers, I need to encourage you. Never underestimate your ability and your potential. You're not just a mere foot soldier. As I've heard some of you say, no, you are Ugandan, you're a stakeholder. And so, your voice matters. So don't say, for me, I was not elected, I was not a flag bearer. You are a stakeholder, you are a Ugandan. So don't underestimate your potential and your ability. So our hope is that we'll push some more this year, 2023. For media, they keep saying translating to Uganda for a news bulletin. We'll have some people to speak a few other languages, I believe, so that we see how we connect. Anyhow, omwaka oguwedde nga bwe mwagulaba, twebaza Katonda nti tukyali balamu. Munnange si kintu kyakuzannyirako kugamba nti tukyali balamu. Bannaffe bangi bafudde, batiddwa. Lwaki? Bakwagala nkyukakyuka, si lwa nsonga endala yonna yonna. So twebaza Katonda nti tukyaliwo era nga akyatuwadde ekkatala obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okukola ekisoboka kyonna okulaba nti eggwanga yaffe lino litereera. Era nga ffe ku NUP tugamba nti guno omwaka bwe tutandise 2023 twagala okwongezaamu giya ku nsonga zino eziwerera ddala. Tukyalina abantu baffe bangi bali mu makomera awatali musango. Abamu bakulembeze nga Basegirinya Ssewanyana, abalala si bakulembeze oba bamobilizers baffe bamachete ba Rashid Segujja ba Olivia Lutaya abagamba nti nze njagala eggwanga lyange litereere era kanzanye kapaati kange akatono ne gufuuka musango. So tulina okwongeza amaloboozi gaffe ffenna okubanja abantu baffe bano ffenna nga bannayuganda. Kino kiri ku ffe n'abakulembeze ku bamemba baffe bafuutu soja naye ne bannayuganda ali eyo tewetaaga kubeera muwagizi wa NUP naye kikyamu kiba kikyamu era nga ffenna tuba tulina okivumirira ne tugamba nti nedda kino kirina okubeerako n'ekkomo ffenna nga bannansi kubanga oyinza okugamba leero bituuka ku ba NUP ffe tebirina tutuukako naawe bigenda kujja gy'oli munnange. Abantu abazze battibwa abamu sina bawagizi baffe Novemba 18, 19 abantu abamu battibwa nga n'ebyokulonda oba oli awo ebyobufuzi tabiriiko nnyo naye nattibwa ku lwaki lwa bukulembeze obubi. So ffenna kitukakatako okukwatira awamu ku nsonga zino. Ennaku zino nina byendaba ebinzizaamuko amaanyi kubanga tulina abantu baffe abamu ababadde balowooza nti bino ebintu bino ebyenkyukakyuka byaba aba NUP byaba abakulembeze byaba n'aba boda oba ki nga tebamanyi nti nabo kibakwatako. Bano abayita elite simanya middle class ne bagenza okuzuulanga nabo effugabbi litandise okubayisa obubi. Esente zaabwe zebatereka mu NSSF tebamanyi oba ziri safe oba kiki zikyaliyo nti bw'anaamaliriza emirimu gye n'awummula ajja sobola okufuna akasente ke. Era kati ntandise okubalaba nabo bayimusa amaloboozi gaabwe ku social media ku WhatsApp groups nga bagamba nedda bino bikyamu mubaddewa. Anyway, kirungi nti mwegasse ku bino ebitubadde twogerako kubanga ebitongole ebijjo byonna bijja sigala nga birimu vulugu for as long as obukulembeze obututwala obukyatuliisa akakanja bukola nga bwe bukola. Buli omu ajja kuloza ku bukambwe bw'effugabbi. Pulezidenti waffe azze akyogera emirundi egiwera nti mujja kiwulira. Kitegeeza nti buli omu alina okufungiza, buli omu alina okwetaba mu nsonga zino. Abantu baffe sanji zino naddala wano mu Kampala babadde beemulugunya ku nguudo embi. Anti amamotoka gaffe buli wiikendi tubeera mu garagi. Ensangi zino zonna babadde basirise nga bagamba ebintu by'obufuzi ebyo katubirekere abo abaagala okubirwa emiggo bo babyogereko. Ne kati nabo beemulugunya nti amamotoka gaffe buli wiikendi tugenda mu garagi kubanga enguudo mbi. Enguudo lwaki mbi? Fugabbi. State House erimu Mwami Museveni ne banne babeeramu naye buli kanaku eno financial gye tuli mu kumaliriza babadde bakozesa obuwumbi 2 milioni 8 2.8 billion batya kubanga eri mu budget baweebwa bali obuwumbi nga 6 naye mu supplementary baze beeyongera paka luzisuse mu katabalika trillion. Era bw'obalamu olaba nti buli kanaku 2.8 billion. Sikola ki ezo bannaye? Bazikozesa sente ezo zikola ki? Naye obeera n'abakulembeze nga bo essira baliteeka ku tweremeeza tutya mu bukulembeze. Sente tezijja genda kukola nguudo ku byabulamu n'ebirala. Katuzeeterekere ani gwe tusobola okugula abakola ennyo kerereya olebwa ebintu ebitakasa bannayuganda. So kino kitulaga nti ffenna kitukakatako nga bannayuganda okuyimusa amaloboozi gaffe tugambe nti nedda ekimala. Era ffe nga NUP tuga nti guno omwaka bwe tutandise twagala okwongeza giya ng'abakulembeze tulina obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe be baalonda abantu batuwa platforms ezo tuzikozese. Naye naawe atalina kifo ky'olimu munnange naawe lekerawo okwenyooma oba oli fuutu soja oba oli muwagizi togamba nti nze just ndi miya fuutu soja nze ndi miya muwagizi siyina nnyo kifo. Teweetaaga kubeera na kifo okuyimusa eddoboozi lyo ku nsonga enkulu eziruma bannayuganda. So ffenna tukwatire awamu tulabe nga ensonga eno ate tugiteeka ku level eddako. Abantu bano baleme kubeera eyo nga bawumuddemukko nga beebaka ne bafuluuta nedda twongezeemu. I want to invite a few leaders to address us over a few things as briefly as we possibly can. Let me invite Chairman our team leader from Northern Region, just come and speak to us in 1 minute. Need to hear the voice from Northern Uganda to be sure that all is well that side. Could you come, let the team that you came with from Northern Uganda come and be behind you as you speak to us in 2 minutes. I have ambushed you, but as a leader, you're always ready.
Thank you so much, Secretary General. The Secretary General, the spokesperson, Chairman Nyanzi, the head of Kunga, Vice President for Western Uganda, members of Parliament, councillors, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by the name Samuel Okot. I'm the chairperson of the National NUP platform virtually, but I'm acting as a chairperson of Northern Uganda. Ugandan, thank you so much. You have heard what the Secretary General said. In Northern Uganda, before I forget, in a sad note, we lost our comrade, who is also a NEC member and our former flag bearer for the Omoro by-election, Honorable the late Tolit Akecha. We are in darkness that side, and it's not easy. But going forward, like the spokesperson said, we are still in the struggle. I must tell all Ugandans and all the Northerners that the struggle continues. No giving up, come sunshine or rainfall. There are a lot of problems the country is facing. The spokesperson talked about, I don't want to talk about. You people who have been in Northern Uganda, particularly those who had an opportunity to go up to the villages like in Omoro in the previous election, you saw by your own eyes. The spokesperson, if you talk about the roads, forget about these ones. You go there, you see the railroads. As I speak now, we're in dry season, but we still cannot access other places because we cannot cross the swamps. Talk about the life of the people. We are very poor. You heard of the statistics. The poorest. We are following Karamoja. We have problem. Go to Karamoja. People are dying every day. You go to West Nile. It's the same thing. Poverty will kill us. And we don't hear it well. If I could hear that the state is using 2.5 billion every month. 2.8 billion every month. Every day. Imagine. Would you imagine 2.8 billion a day in 24 hours? They're using 2.8 billion. When in the health centers, as I talk now, even the main hospital of Bulu, you go, not even Panadol. You buy your own medicine. Ugandans, let's wake up. I was given only 2 minutes. I want to thank everyone. And I want to encourage that let's continue. My own appeal is let's get united. Because united, we are strong. Divided, we fall. We know what the dictator is using. It's divide and rule. So let's stand united. Briefly in our local language, Amira 4 to 12 annually Uganda. Nia Okot Samuel. Anate won compa national unity platform below Bachuri. Kumberatika Timacharo won com Petuno pe Kumara Uganda. Abiero Kanki Luara Mogo Agi, Votlum Bopa Mekomari Uganda. Kilo Bachuri, Ilovo West Nile, Ilovo Lao, Kachi Ki Karamoja. Amira chok chwini yele futika meta yim. Powa bi dokchen yo wen yen ka wana opeke madongo mawati ye. Beru e gameta pera. Chi lutua yele mawati ka yele wakti meta longa. Makwanya wana nyole Uganda wen. Pete doga ngej era wara nyim wabi yele mena na kirine ngo. Wano longa mo mere. Atama na fuyu matek. Wadi chunyo ka chil wadi yu matek. Pera madit Wano no in Uganda. Ki Uganda lo wano winyi niga mede tiyu billion riyo tona boro. Niya na chil. Kunu yu ti marach. Uri yiri ti marach. Chamino me kodano. Eno kiti yang kuwa mo. Mero gin ma wan po mero lo. Wahul kiti mi. Momir pete dokchun kamo kaya. People power. Mapi ya uya watiki kumuma dito tuwal. Wange waduwe wengi wa. Dana matiki ngej. Dan ma tika telo wa ko nya wa bichoro nyi ke betela la di to de mo ngi ni yu me yu ne tie ma wan wen yu ro to sing wa ko yin be chwa nga to de wa ngi ko bicho muti mi lo churi ana bi fu ma te ko woni en bi ta wa bri afo to people power thank you so much
afoyo la dit You know, my name is Oteka. I have people in my area who gave me the name Oteka. So it means a few good things. All right, let me invite them from Western Uganda to also speak to us in just 2 minutes. Okay, you know Western Uganda is diverse. We have the Banyankuli, we have the Bakonzo, we have the Batoro, we have, you know, and the same of course as Northern Uganda, the Acholi, the Langi, and so on and so forth. Let me request our next member from the West. Okay, she's requested that the chairperson speaks in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joel Ssenyonyi, our mobilizer, Mr. Nyanzi, our Secretary General, Mr. Lewis Lubongoya. We are happy to be here with you, and we are grateful to be part of the People Power movement. People Power? NUP? Everywhere? NUP. I thank everyone for having come to this area, and then as we see how we proceed with our activities of NUP, I thank each and every member that is here who has come from Western Uganda. We have several districts that are representing Western Uganda, and would want to show all that solidarity that we are going to work together as a whole. Unfortunately, I've been given 2 minutes, so I will have to go back to the Rukonzo version for our members to understand. Abanyakasese abosi yamoli mumamu natulikirira tukabusima kusebwa lyumwa betu joininga mukajeninga kitunga kyetu ketu no mubasimere woma mutitwende mbere ni mobilization ngokongana mu babura bulikiro tomatu ne kasese tugesa hanu saakire arisatra tuli okwilanga tuje kitunga tukaenda mbere nacu na mani manene mwamaye munanyulikirira omukuru wetu secretary general abiri wachi tutandikiraho mobilization as much as possible tulanga tukatandika enange esha clicks yetolanga tuje kitunga tukaenda mbere nacu na mani manene kinga no mubasima awe koma mulume wetu munamwasemo mokwinyana hani yambaju katika lani katika nahalia mwasinja neriko momuka aliwe troni abakata mwa atuma kasimu ena sidra naye babere mwera obukulu niyo vice chairperson women nango wabakali women league naye tukasima kusebo kitaba cheno awe kolati awe mtu alembere people power. Unfortunately, I'm not yet introduced myself. I'm called Basisa Bryans. I'm the chairman of the National Platform Kasese. At the same time, I'm one of the Rwenzori sub-regional coordinators, where we have 4 districts. We represent Bunyangabu, Ntoroko, Bundibujo, and Kasese. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Thank you. How do you say thank you? How do you say thank you? Wasinja Kosewo. Nesewo si Uganda. All right, thank you. Thank you, the team from Western Uganda. Wasinja Kosewo. And then people say we are not brothers and sisters. All right, let me request the team from Teso Sub-Region to also come and speak in 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll also use just 2 minutes. Comrade Emma will lead the team. He's the head of our informal sector and also he heads our Teso Sub-Region team.
People power. Your Excellency the President, the Secretary General, our Chairperson Kunga, our spokesperson, Arnold Machu, the Chairperson NUP Teso Sub-Region. Tekana Teso Jalosone or headquarters Alimoto Security Somasi Ijaso Ibut Imora Kadakop Kere. Ilomoto na Teso neta kitu sijasi. Upenda skendera kwa Secretary General kopukwana. Be apu ganto somai ngini kukati state house somai 2.8 billion angini parity. Konyi katunga obuwa kukata kui era kutunga nyama tero na tipa parity. Eri tunga nyama mukeke paran dai mata kipi aperi okata kui konyi kiwa na Vice President Uganda lomota kai okata kui. Ero kiro tinero ko noyo Teso era ambulance hauta keda panyanyu no kata kui Abuno Regional Referral Hospital. Ijoni Uganda neja sade kisia nero kaberu elemun lukuminikan alemun kids laur adekis iloreja idon or referral hospital or health center too. You produce 5,000 shillings. You as a woman who is going to give birth for a mama kit or a kavera, and that is our Uganda. And this money spent on things that are very useless. We are suffering in Teso right now. The cash crop we have right now is maybe rice in the swamps, but the government as of late said people should not grow rice again in the swamps, and there's not given an option as in people are going to get school fees. Right now there's a law being enforced that people should concentrate rice in the swamps. Those are the problems we are facing. Most of it is all come around Lake Sugar, get their school fees from the lake, but as we speak now, there's soldiers surrounding all the lakes. There's no more fishing. As we are here, ladies and gentlemen, it is a scared where they're going to school fees to take their children to the university. We are here. I come from a place in Teso, like for example, my brother from Kawalaya. We have teachers who have to ride a bicycle from Kalaki Ochero to come to Soweto where there's a bank to pick a salary of 500,000. That's the Uganda we come from. And people are saying that things are very okay. That is wrong. We all have to stand up and fight to protect our country and the interest of our people. We have to fight. We have to fight high taxation levied on local commodities, on local farmers. People are crying of poverty. You are saying there is money in Uganda. But what we grow, when you bring to the market, there is taxes everywhere. Even if you bring small ebo, egove, they want taxes. You make small kabalagala, they want taxes. You bring your much to sell the market, they want taxes all the time. Where is the local man going to get money to buy soap? About soap is 8,000. A kilo of meat is now 12,000 in my village. When will local man taste meat? This is the Uganda we are in. So all Ugandans wake up, we rise together, we fight for the better of our country. The Lord be with us.
Manoi. Biaibo. Jokuna mot. All right. Thank you, our team from Teso sub-region. As we did communicate a few days ago, we lost one of us, our acting head of policy and research, the Honorable Simon Tolit Akecha. He was a flag bearer in the recently concluded Omoro by-election. Very sad state of affairs. We'll be communicating as we work together with the family when the burial gets to happen and all of those processes. Let me request us to stand for a moment of silence for Comrade Simon Tolit, but also there's other comrades. Honorable Mbaju Katika has lost his sister, his follower. He's here because he had to come with the team, but then he has to run back and take care of that. Our condolences to you, comrade. Comrade Sebastian lost his grandmother recently, and other folks, have lost loved ones. We don't mention names, so just a moment of silence. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. All right, we are going to move a little quicker now. Let me invite members of parliament who are here. Kindly come. We are going to use very few minutes. I think what we'll do, since we are many, we'll just do quick introductions, and then one or two or so will share something a little more. But I'll go on the side somewhere. We'll do just quick introductions, then an area, and then maybe a one-liner or that kind of thing. Ladies first. Honorable Flavia is our head of the Women's League, all the way from Kasanda.
People power. Our power. People power. Nze Nabukera Hanifa, woman MP Mukono District, Shadow Minister for Human Rights. Nebaza Katonda mwenna okubayisaamu omwaka oguwedde tuyingire mu guno era n'ensaasira abafiirwako abantu baabwe omwaka oguwedde naguli abantu abo abaafa nga tuli mu struggle. Era nsaba Mukama Katonda abawe ekiwummulo ky'emirembe. Nze nga Minister of Human Rights kyenjagala Abubakar kasobola bajjukiza nti eyo mu Parliament tetutudde butuuzi. Nze nga atula kakiiko era ntuulako ne Honorable Flavia wano, tukyabanja abantu baffe abamiisinga. Fenge Mukono tuyina abantu bange abaali ddala bakampeyina bange bakyabamanja. N'olwekyo situdde era twataskisinga Chairperson wa Human Rights atuwe report ku bantu abo gye bali. Naye mpaka olwaleero tatuwanga report. Ne tumugamba katulete abantu baffe abaafuna obuvune bajje tuba cross examining bababuulire nga bwe kyali basobole okufuna obwenkanya. Mpaka n'olwaleero era report tenakola ki tenafuluma. Njagala okubategeeza gwe tuyina nga Chairperson wa Human Rights y'omutiitizi servant kwegamba akolera gavumenti atalumwako nebuuza lwaki n'ekifo ekyo akola ki akirimu. Ekyo ekifo ekyo actually akakiiko ako ka opposition kubanga ffe abasinga okunyigirizibwa naye bakateeka erimu NRM ate tebalina kye bakakozesa. Naffe abaliko tubabuuza ne tubabanja ne tubateeka ku nninga tetuyina tetujjayo naye tetugenda kukoowa tukyababanja ate era tugenda kubanga ne komiti eno babadde batuletedde wano nti budget tubawe ssente naye ne tubagamba tubawe ssente omulimu tuwa accountability ku mirimu gye mukoze. N'olwekyo olwakadde akatono ebigambo biba bingi naye kampa omukisa bannange abalala nabo boogereko ate era tetugenda kwerabira abantu baffe abaasibwa gye bali bakyaliyo. Tuyina bahonorable abaliyo tebalina misango. Nze ndi mukyala munamateeka nange ng'omuntu so nkimanyi nti no omuntu alina okuwulirizibwa. Cases have never taken off. They either come for mention. So I really am burdened okulaba nti no tusigale nga tubanja gavumenti abantu abo bawulize n'abaliyo baveeyo bonna abalala bawulize saabo bokka. Munansonyiwa akadde katono kampe mukisa another member of parliament to also introduce themselves. Thank you so much.
People power, our power. Asebo de banyabo, sebo President, Secretary General, sebo Chairman Wakunga, abakulembeze mwenna, bannamawulire mwenna, nze Wakayima Musoke Nsereko ow'Ennansana. Basebo de banyabo, bw'oba obadde owuliriza bulungi ojja kukkiriza nti eggwanga lyagwa. Revenue yaffe bagamba collecting trillions 2 ne trillions ezo 2 ze collectinga 15 zigenda mu mabanja okusasula amabanja bannaffe ababadde mu gavumenti emyaka egya 3 plus gyebabaddemu zesasula trillions 5 ne zitandika okugenda mu mirimu ebyaffe. So ndowooza mulaba nti eggwanga lyakola ki lyagwa. So bwe mpulidde wano agamba nti enguudo ezeeyo mbi weeraliikirira enguudo ate eziri mu Kampala nga ne ssente ezawoleddwa trillion almost number eyinza okusanga obuzibu mu zikola kubanga ziyinza okulibwa. People power, our power. Kunga Uganda, kunga Uganda, kunga. Mwebale nnyo mwebale.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Banachukachuka bannaffe. Honorable Flavia ngamba Luzungu nayenza abe Kampala bamanyi Luganda okusenga ate ensonga z'engendo okwogera za kibuga. Oluzungu manyi nsobola okulwogera naye munzikirize leero. Abasajja bano tuyibagambe mu lulimi bannakampala tebasinga okutegeera. Tulina ekizibu mu Kampala. Era ennaku ezo waliwo bannamawulire abeefudde nti bo banoonyereza nnyo. Ne balekerera omussi ne batunulira omubaazi. Kampala kibuga kya ggwanga. Kampala omusalo gwonna Honorable Wakayima gwayogeddeko okuva mu Kampala. Naye Mwai Museveni azze ajjukiza bannayuganda nti Kampala ffe tumanyi n'ebizibu byaffe olw'okuba tebalonda b'NRM. Kampala bwe baavuddeyo okwewola essente $2.8 billion okukola enguudo eza $, bwe baleese contracts ozisayininga baziwadde ba China zonna. Kampala mu parliament bwe tukola appropriations mu financial eno gye tulimu mu koota eyasooka n'eyokubiri Kampala tebagiwa ssente za kukola nguudo. Mwai Museveni ne banne supplementary ze baleeta buli mwezi zaali badde zisobola okukola enguudo. Akakiiko k'entulaka ka Presidential Affairs ennaku ezo baleese okusaba kwa bilioni 420 nga bagenda kugula midaali. Ne tubabuuza nti eddaali kye kizibu kya Uganda, zino bilioni 420 tesobola kuzimba nguudo. Twabadde tukyali awo ne basaba essente okuzimbira abaradisa amayumba, okugulira abaradisa emmotoka n'ebintu ebirala. Ne tubagamba nti ssente zino tesobola kuzimba amalwaliro gasobola kuyamba bannayuganda. Ekyasinze okutumala ku enviri ku mutwe kwe kusaba ssente endala nga bagamba nti bagenda kufacilitatinga ba presidential advisors. Naye nga tukimanyi nti mu Uganda gye tuwangaaliramu, Uganda erina ba presidential advisors saawa zino bawera 200,000. Naye ba presidential advisors be tulina mu Uganda bamala emyaka 2 nga tebalabye na mukama waabwe kumu advisinga. Dwabayamba n'abayita yabagendo bawa advice. Kyekikaaki kye tulimu ekyo. Bannamawulire muleme kukozesebwa. Twabalabye mwakoze documentary mu kibuga Kampala. Ne mutujjayo ffenna ababaka b'ekibuga nga temumaze nagenda ku ground kulaba kizibu kye kya Uganda ekiriwo. Baani abalina okukola enguudo. Nze mbaka Parliament omulimu gwange ku making sure nti batadde enguudo z'ekibuga mu budget. Mwami Museveni sente aziridde ne banne. Babagambye nti buli lunaku akozesa obuwumbi 2 mu milioni 8. Waliwo omumu afunako yadde n'ekikumi. Ndowooza okunyiiga we kulina okuva. Mwami Museveni tobuzaabuza Uganda, mubbye sente ne banno, naye mukimanye nti ze mubbye ne olwadde mugenda kuzisasula. Ebyange byebyo, kansabe ne bannange beekubira boogera.
People power, our power. Nze Serubula Stephen Kinaalwa okuva Lugazi Municipality mu Bulukwe District. Basebo ne bannyabo mikwano gyaffe edda bwe bayogeranga ku drones nga ffe bwe tumanyi ziri wala. Naye ku lunaku lwa Christmas balumba omukyala Bisaso ku kyalo mu luka gw'Ebuwola ku kyalo mu Nkaaga. Ne bawamba famire y'abantu 6. Ne Ajati yaliko emyaka 8 babasanga bajjula mmere bagenda kulya. N'omwana w'emyaka 15 bonna ne babatwalirako. Abantu abo bajja nga bali mu byambalo nga tebali mu byambalo. Kati ebiseera ebisinga abantu baffe balaba abantu abo badduka. Ne batwala famire yonna ne batandika okubira famire tebabawo obukadde 9 balooke bakomyewo abantu baabwe. Twabira ku mirembe gy'Obote we yabagamba sijja kubasasula abasirikale mwesasule. Ne bagenda nga ne batulugunya abantu ne babawa ssente. Famire eyo nebonaabona. Waliwo ku kyalo Kasoga ng'ogenda Ekiyindi drone yaze ne tayiza omwami bamuyita Ntulume. Ne bamutayiza ne bamusalako ne bamubbako ssente ze yabadde nazo obukadde 8. Kati ffe tetumanyi oba abatubba babbi oba basirikale. Kubanga ebiseera ebisinga drone bwejja abantu bagandooza baseemwayi balina gwe banonye. Naye ndowooza n'ababbi bajja kukozesa ekyo boolyawo n'ababba bannayuganda nga basirikale. N'olwekyo twagala okutegeeza bannayuganda nti ebyali ewala ne Kampala ne mu byalo bikola ki gyebiri. Bwe tugamba okwerwanako kikulu nnyo basebo ne bannyabo. Twongere okusabira eggwanga laffe bwe tukola tusobole okweggyako abantu bano boogedde ku mabanja. Myaka 96 okusasula amabanja ge tulina. Buli munnayuganda abangi bakakadde kamu emitwalo 8. Kati nga weebuuza gwe waziyadde n'abaana bo n'abazzukulu bo. Abakulu beewola ne bazimba ennyumba zaabwe e Bulaaya ne beeyagala tusigala nga tubonaabona. Kibi nnyo naye kyemmanyi tujja kukwangula basebo ne bannyabo. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale. People power, our power.
People power, our power. Amanya Muwada Nkunyingi ndi mbaka wa Parliament akiikirira Kyadondo East eri ku base State House ekyaliyo, President akyaliyo. Tulwana kulaba nga twenunulanga eggwanga era nga bannayuganda mu Parliament ntula kukosase ebyo Honorable Joel abyogedde. Tukyagulana na report zetukoze kufuna audience. Betuzuula ababbi report tuziteekayo teziweebwa kaseera ku presentingwa mu Parliament. Twagala obakakasa tetugenda kusirika. Omanyi Honorable Joel yatukulemera atugaba omwaka guno gwakulabisa. Kati ebibye naffe kukola ki kwongerako. Njagala omwebaza nti at least mukosase abadde musajja njasa biggu okuwaguza mbabbi okubalaga nti wano waliwo obulyake tekiba kyangu abikoze mu Luzungu mu Luganda ne mu nnimi endala ne ripooti gye ziri empandiike zifuluma bate zifulumye tujja mwe bategeeza bannayuganda omubbiyaani ne ssente meka ezibbiddwa akaseera kakatuuse muli etaasa muli likavalinga mu palamenti era ntula ku foreign affairs nkola nga minister owa foreign affairs munzikiriza okwebaza bannayuganda abawanga lya diaspora ennaku ezo NUP yalungamya ku bukulembeze mu Africa mu Europe mu Asia mu America era omukulu ogukyagenda mu maaso ne different chapters mawanga ag'enjawulo nyalo kwebaza Uganda niza abawangalira ebweru bakoze omulimu gw'amaanyi mu mbeera zonna bw'ogamba nti protestant okuyimirirawo ku nsonga ezinyiga bannayuganda. I think the diaspora is able competing with all of you here. I want to applaud the diaspora community, our Ugandans in the diaspora, for standing firm to the values of our constitutionalism. N'okulaba ng'eggwanga lyaffe literezebwa era njagala obasaba bagende mu maaso. Basebo ne bajja omwaka oguwedde ebimu ku byalimu ennyo. Mwe bannayuganda abali kuno n'abali ebweru mwayimirirawo ku lwa bannayuganda abali stranded mu mawanga ga Middle East n'ewalala. N'omwaka guno oba oli awo challenge ezimu zikyagenda mu maaso. Tulina emirimu ebiri ekisooka okulwana okuyambakawo bannayuganda abalina okusoomozebwa n'ate n'okulwana naffe abali wano obutawaŋŋanguka tulina okwerwanako okwenunula okutereeza embeera mwe tuwangaalira. Tubadde tutunulira budget for example boogedde ku media okozesebwa oluusi tuba tutunulira budget ya foreign affairs olunaku bbiri emabega twali tutunulira budget ya embassy ng'eya Ankara eya Turkey ne tulaga nti buli kwota bafuna miliyoni ezisukka 3 ze bateeka mu tourism naye nga bazikozesa ku kye bayise hiring social media influencers. Tubabuuza baani be muhayalinga era mubawa mmeka tebalina listi wadde ki ekitegeeza abantu be muli oluusi nga banyigiriza bannayuganda oluusi nga bakozesa media baba basasule nze yonnyako bwino kuba kino kyazze mu komiti ya parliament nga batulaga nti ssente ezifulumizibwa buli kwota 3 basasula mu ba-influencers be batatulaga bakola ki era boogera ki era bo be baani tewalina ndagalo gye bakola. Ekyo nno kya bulabe oba oli awulira eggwanga lyaffe nti ssente zaffe zikozesebwa nga tezirambikiddwa bulungi. Wakati wa bajeti ya biliyoni eziri mu 25 eziwa foreign affairs tewaliwo nnambika na ntematema eyambako bannayuganda bateeka embassies for example before ebitakwatagana otugamba oti ate essaawa era ambasada wa Uganda mu Russia era ya ambasada wa Uganda mu Ukraine. Tubabuuza lwaki temuyambye bannayuganda abali eyo nti bo baaganye okujja mu Russia basigaddeyo abantu bagenda mu nsi eziriraanye nga Poland. Mulaba dayirama gye tulimu our foreign policy eri misdirected tewali mulamwa mulambulukufu so tuyingira 2023 nga twesiba 2 nze nga minisita w'ekisiikirizo w'amawanga amalala mu foreign affairs ngenda kukulembera eddoboozi manyi nti ebweru nga kukoledde eno Uganda tewali kijja kubalema n'abaana abafunye okusoomozebwa tujja yimirirawo nabo naye ng'eddimbu eddene lyakulaba nga tutaasa bannayuganda obutafuna kusoomozebwa tusigale mu ggwanga lyaffe tuli enjoyinge people power. Bannakyaddondo ate mwakaffe Mukama Katonda bankumire.
People power. People power. Our power. Yenze Sekabira Dennis nkiikirira Katikamu North Constituency mu Parliament. Njagala kwogera ekigambo kimu ennaku z'omwezi 14 January 2021 bannayuganda nga tebeesazeemu bakwasa Mwami Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu obukulembeze bw'eggwanga lye era yenna bulina mu bukyamu abaka ba Parliament ensonga bonna ziboogedde n'ensonga gye njogerako tuzoogeza mandate gye mwatuwa mwe bannayuganda naye waliwo kanamujinga akagenda mu maaso akazze kabeerawo nga tukabuusa amaaso mu weeks 2 okuva kati amasomero gagenda kuggulawo naye yonna gye tubeera amasomero gayongeza ebisale by'essomero n'ekigendererwa ekyokulemesa ffe bannayuganda okutwala abaana baffe mu masomero amalungi agasobola okuweereza obulungi. Njagala kubasigira kifaananyi mu ddakiika emu okuva mu 8 okutuuka mu 86 nga gavumenti y'omuyeekera ewagirwa bakadoogo abaana abalwananga nga bato nga tebannaba kutuuka mu myaka gya kwesalirawo bwe baamala okutwala obuyinza mu 96 n'oluvannyuma lw'emyaka 10 nga basaavinga mu magye bonna yabawummuza kubanga bagaa nti atalina bbaluwa ya senior 4 ogenda kuwummula togenda kubeera musirikale. Abaana baffe bakadde baffe bonna ne baddayo mu kyalo n'abasuubiza nti bajja kubawa entandikwa nakati tejjanga be baba banja akasiimo k'abalwanyi. Njagala kumaliriza bwe nti mu 2022 mu 2012 ne baleetawo enkola ey'okuyingiza amagye ga bakadeeti. Bakadeeti bayingira ng'osomye ng'olina diguri. Ab'olubatu be baali basomye nga balina diguri ne bayingira nga bakadeeti, bonna balina batandise bakaputeni nga basasulwa bulungi, bali bennyini ne baviiramu awo. Kati we twogerera eggwanga lyaffe lirina amafuta, abaagenda okusoma amafuta balondebwawo nga ba lubatu. Nakati kikomyewo ebbeeyi y'ebisale by'essomero erinnye, abaana baffe tebagenda kusoma, ate ng'omukisa gwokka omwana w'omunaku wasobola okuvuganyiza n'oli kugenda ku ssomero. Kale njagala mukimanyi nti bekikola kagendere. Njagala kubasaba bassebo ne bannyabo, tewaliwo mukisa gwonna gwe tulina kuwa mulabe waffe atunyigiriza okutuggyako ebyo Katonda byatuwa nga rights zaffe. Omuntu okugenda ku ssomero omusemateeka waffe is a right, tekirina na kuteesebwako. Era nga gavumenti eno eyaffe gye twalonda yandibadde ensonga eyo egitaddemu obwesigwa bwayo bwesaana, kubanga gavumenti erina okuteekawo okusoma okw'obuwaze ate okw'obuwereere eri bannayuganda. Ekyokubiri, okuteekawo embeera ey'okukakkanya byonna ebiyinza okuleetera emisolo oba okuleetera ebyenjigiriza okubeera waggulu. Njagala kumaliriza ne kino, ng'eggwanga lyakava mu COVID, gavumenti yateeka ssente mu UDB n'egamba za bya bulimi kubanga lyerowooza kyekyali kisinga okwetaagisa. Abakungu ba gavumenti ne bazeewola ne bazimba mall. Amasomero kati gwewolera ku interest rate eya banka ya 26% era gasasula ne income tax. Butereevu ebisale by'essomero biba birina okukola ki? Okulinnya. Ke tuli nti tuli mu budgeting process. Buno obudde gavumenti yandibadde ereese supplementaries mu kuyamba masomero okulaba nti ebyenjigiriza bikka. Njagala kugumya eggwanga lino nti ekyokukola ekituufu tukimanyi era nga abaka palamenti tugenda kukikola. Njagala kumaliriza nga mbasaba munegatteko tusabe essaala entono nnyo ya bigambo bibiri. Ayi Mukama Katonda taata, ffe wawa amaanyi okubeera mu ggwanga lino era abalirwanirira, tukusaba otuwa obuvumu n'amaanyi okwongera okukikola. Ayi Mukama Katonda taata, buli munnayuganda ali wano ayagala kulaba ku Uganda empya, ennungi, ey'obwenkanya, etaliimu kuyiwa musaayi. Ayi Mukama Katonda taata, wagaa nti buli kyonna ekisibwa ku nsi ne waggulu kisibwa. Abatukulembera kati batukulembera bubi, tubakolimidde. Tukusaba ne oba tutte tubatutuuzangamu kubanga tebatuyisiza bulungi. Buli kyonna tukisabye nga tuyita mu linnya ly'omwana wa Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe.
People power, our power. Now, due to public demand, I'll speak some English. Our leaders, the Secretary General, our Vice Chairperson, National Unity Platform for Western Region, members of the National Unity Platform, the media, honorable members of Parliament, I'm humbled to be here. But to sum up our problems, as the members of Parliament have mentioned, our problem is the leadership of NRM and General Museveni. Over time, we have talked about it. We have talked about the problems of Uganda. And I want to believe that the ultimate goal of the National Unity Platform is to take over power. This year, we need to quicken up our processes and our strategic planning on how we are going to take over power. My biggest worry is that we hear from the corridors how those people are trying to strategize from within NRM. And it will be very unfortunate and detrimental for us to allow them that political space of mobilizing. We have to plan now. We have to come up with strategies on how we are going to take over power. I sit on the Committee of National Economy in Parliament. This year's budget is 49.9 trillion. And our country can only collect 28 trillion. Now that means that the difference, which is 22 trillion, must be borrowed. Now that means we are slowly but surely mortgaging our country. Ugandans, we need to wake up, we need to identify our problems and take over power. Thank you so much. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you, colleague members of parliament. Two of our colleagues who are here earlier, the Honorable Sazi from Gomba, the Honorable Susan Gabi from Buvuma, and also Honorable Veronica Nanyondo. They left earlier to go and attend to some quick assignments which we needed attended to, but we appreciate those that have been able to join us. Mr. Kungaman, yango tukunge mu kwedakika 2 tugende mazi.
Kunga chairman Nyanzi kunga. Kunga NUP kunga.
This is the time. This is the time. Museveni agende. Ne bwali banga alemeddeko ne bali banga alemeddeko ateekwa buteeko. Leero luno lutalo bannange. Leero luno lutalo bannange. Twagoba akatengo lutalo bannange. Thank you. Kunga Uganda kunga. Kunga Western Region kunga. Kunga Kyagulanyi kunga. Kunga Central Region kunga. Kunga Western Region kunga. Northern Region Mulwa. Kunga Northern Region kunga. Thank you very much. Well, I'll be brief. Mr. Secretary General, our spokesperson, members of parliament, the media, all comrades from all regions, it is in our DNA as a party. Our DNA is invested in our name, the National Unity Platform. National because we are nationalistic, and we must reflect that in our actions. United because we have to work together. This party emphasizes on unity and providing platform for every individual in our society. Providing platform to a Baju from the Eastern region. What's your name, sir? Pasese Mbaju. Emachu from the Eastern region and Chairman from the Northern region. So we keep on emphasizing that this is not a party from Buganda, it is a party for the country. We all own this party. I've been challenged by comrades from the MPs for having spoken Luganda here. They are challenging you. You didn't front MPs from other regions. Go and work harder so that you can come here and we concentrate on your languages, and we shall have to learn them if you work harder. So this is a party for all of us. Secondly, we all agree that we are challenged by the political environment, ladies and gentlemen. And the party decided to create mobilization structures. The Kunga structures, it could seem to be ad hoc, but it is very, very effective. We are very serious on these structures, ladies and gentlemen. So, comrades, for that reason, these structures must be supported by all leaders at all levels in the country. They have helped us to build confidence again. The confidence which had been once lost has been regained and has been rejuvenated. The spirit of support and fostering for change in the country has also been rejuvenated. It has involved the women and the youth in the struggle. So we emphasize, comrades, leaders who have, come here today, that you go and support these committees because you are all stakeholders and you're also ex-officials on these committees. So I am talking as the Kunga man. So we have created those political structures as the task force. They are less political, but more patriotic and more nationalistic. Because these people, most of them don't own positions in the local government or in parliament. So we are also setting grounds for inductions and political education to make people know more of their human rights. I encourage leaders and the people in these structures to welcome people from the NRM. Me, I enjoy the factors from NRM from more than from other parties. We can always invite people from other parties, but mainly people from NRM. Those people are yearning for change. They're there, but we have not encouraged them to join us. This is a new year. I welcome you to the new year. Happy New Year, comrades. For me, I want to consider this year a drone-free year. Drones, abductions, no more abductions. We are going to fight them physically. We are going to face them head on. Once you identify that there's a drone, because this is why I even encourage the SG to rebrand or to brand our vehicles with our colors. But they can strategically brand them as well. But we can always make sure that we identify these drones who have been, abducting our people. So we are going to make sure that we face them head on. Bannange banyabo ne base Uganda bannange eggwanga lino yako obugwagwa yako obutujju ebintu ebyo twabirwanyisa emabega okuva eri myaka giri ne tukola ssemateeka ne tulowooza nti ensi yaffe ekoze ki eteredde. Kakati ono omusajja atuzzayo mu bintu biri eby'ekitujju ebiri barbaric bye tutasobola kukkiriza kubeerawo. So ssemateeka yaffe etukkiriza bulungi nnyo okuvaayo okulwanyisa engeri bakwatamu abantu baffe. Drones zino zijja zikwata abantu ne zibatwala, abamu ne bafa, abamu ne babulira ddala, abamu ne babasiba. Naye tusobola bulungi nnyo okuteekawo pressure nga tuyise mu bukiiko bwaffe bwonna nga namwe abakulembeze mwogere ne mugamba nti tuganye abantu bakube enduulu bazitayize, omuntu akwate lola agitayize mu kkubo drone ng'egezaako okuyitawo babeere stack, ensi ejja kuŋŋaana n'amasasi basobola ogakuba ne gabagwako ne tubakwata. Tugenda bakwata ffe ng'abantu. Era ffe twakozesa force yaffe egenda okutandika okukwata abavubuka bwe bateeka mu drone. Tujja kukwatayo nga bataano bokka bafuna ekibonerezo. Museveni ne mutabani we bajja kukyusa ekirowoozo. Tetugenda kudda mu kukkiriza drone kutwala abantu baffe. Ekyo temukiwagidde, naye nze nkikkirizaamu nti bwe tugamba nti nno kisobola okukola ki. Neje basula bajja kaaba mumukwata ne mukuba mu MP asobola okukaba naye muntu nadde mununga eri wali ku bbali. Bano abasajja si b'amaanyi, oba amaanyi bajja bateeke mundu wansi balabe. So banyawe ne bassebo, ekintu kya drone ekyo tekiriko kubuuza. Obukiiko bakunga mwenna gye muli, kino ekintu kya butujju. Nzikiriza nga n'abantu bangi nnyo mu gavumenti tebakikkiririzaamu. Lino eggwanga lirina poliisi eriwo mu kiseera kino yadde eri manipulated. Baba baagala omuntu bajja mumukwate mu mateeka, bamulumbe ewuwe, bakole investigations, bagende bamusibe mu mateeka, tugende mu court tumunoonye. Ne awo tuba tutandikira ku ekyo. Kubanga zino ssente ezo bazibbira mu mpapula, bazibbira mu mateeka, simanya bajeti za mwezi muzita mutya mu parliament wakayima. Supplementary budget. Ebyo mu mateeka Ssenyonyi ajja birwanyisizaayo. Ffe abakunga eno wansi naffe tukole ki? Omulimu gwaffe. Nze bye bigambo byange bannange, mweno struggle temuliimu muzannyo. Guno omwaka gugenda kubeera gwa njawulo. Guno omwaka ebikutte bite. Ebikutte bikole ki? People power. Our power. Kunga Uganda kunga. Kunga Kyagulanyi kunga. Nga temudda mu kunga Kyagulanyi kunga. Mbajjemu omwasi mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Bannange yabba ebyuma bya chairman Nyanzi bikomyewo. Sajja no yali muyimbi myaka gye egyedda. All right, let's now invite the SG to talk to us.
People power. Our power. Bafutso je na kuzina watu wade akayimba akapya. Adui nani? Adui nani? Akakayimba akoko. Maulire mukayimba. People power. Madam Deputy President, spokesperson, head of mobilization, honorable members of parliament, mayors, speakers, comrade leaders from Teso, from the north, from Western region, flag bearers, media, all of you comrades who are here, those who will have to call foot soldiers and others. We wish you all a happy new year. We've not had the press conferences, and we thank God for keeping us alive up to this day. I join all leaders in commiserating with the family of our senior leader, Honorable Tolit Simon Akecha, who passed on. We have been in touch with him, throughout his illness, and unfortunately he passed on. So as a party, we lost a very big pillar in that regard. But among the other comrades who have lost people recently, we have our brother all the way from Karamoja, Achia Simon, who lost the mother just a few days back. So we continue to pray that their souls rest in eternal peace. I will really, just for emphasis, say that our president already announced that this year is going to be a year of struggle, a year of revolution. And that is what we are here to emphasize, that we've been doing a lot of activities last year, the year before, but this year we want to even do more. And we are encouraging all leaders who are here, members of parliament, our teams on the ground, speakers, all of you. If last year you were working at 70%, please work at 80%, 90%, and even 100%, because of the challenges our country is facing currently. The thuggery that is going on at NSSF, I think, is just a tip of an iceberg. All of you here, many of you are serving with NSSF, but you can imagine, I just read the letter by, the so-called minister, now writing to the chairperson of the board at NSSF, but you can imagine the expose as it is. The billions that Ugandans are losing, she's talking about kickbacks. But what is worse is that one group, it seems that it's now a mafia system, a cartel, one group trying to get in, to say, no, you guys have eaten so much, let's now also come in and do the thieving ourselves. So it is unfortunate, but you can imagine that's just 1%. I was hearing the IGG say that according to the report, we lose 10 trillion, over or close to 10 trillion shillings in corruption every year. So that is Museveni's government, ladies and gentlemen, illegitimate government. You can imagine what 10 trillion shillings can do to improve healthcare, to improve education, to ensure that our children can be able to go to school. You saw the other day a report saying that up to now, we are paying about 10,000 Uganda shillings for every child under UPE. And then you wonder why most of the children drop out of school before they reach P4, before they reach P7. The state of healthcare, we all know what is going on with our hospitals all over the country. So that is why we are saying that this year we should do a lot more. And of course, in the field of human rights, the Honorable Member has already talked about it. The abductions that are still going on in this country. Over the weekend, some people were taken. You saw our coordinators in Busoga, the family members who were picked up and taken. Now the excuse is ADF. Our people being hounded left, right, and center. Many of our people have had to run out of the country. So those are the challenges we are talking about. The national debt. The honorable member who sits on the National Economic Committee has left. But you all see where the national debt has reached in this country. We are talking about close to 80 trillion national debt. And if you compare that to our GDP, it's just laughable. Now, every year, and even when you look at this budget, you see the amount of money going into the repayment of the debts. Borrowing wouldn't be bad if the money borrowed was going into productive sectors of the economy, if that money was actually being used for what it is supposed to be used for. All of you saw the Auditor General's report about the scandals that riddled the COVID money. While people were collecting the little, even as NUP, we collected some things here at the head of the COVID crisis, and took. Little did we know that we were just giving the little hand support to the Museveni thieving machinery. Decisions of NSSF being taken not in Parliament, but where? In Kapeka. You saw the letter. That is what they are saying, that, you know, in the meeting we sat in at Kapeka, that is where decisions of a magnitude that affect the hundreds of thousands of Ugandans or millions of Ugandans are taken and not in the formal structures which are put in place to do that. Therefore, the crisis in our country continues to be deep, and we cannot continue watching on as the national unity platform, and indeed as all forces of change. Now, what are we therefore here to do? We are here to re-energize ourselves, to continue working very hard to see that the situation in this country changes. I want to quickly say and to announce to the nation, many people have been asking us about our structures and all that. This year you will see us more on the ground, trying to build our structures, to establish our systems in the different parts of the country. That is why we are here with leaders from different parts of the country, from Western Uganda, from Teso sub-region, from North and other places. And that is also why you've seen us take some administrative decisions to ensure that all of us focus on the cause that we're supposed to focus on. I know the media here has been questioning and asking many questions, but I want to request the media to major on the major, to focus on the most important things in this country. I was shocked yesterday when I saw a headline on one of the stations about divisions in NUP. When you see here, do you see any divisions in NUP? All we are doing is to put our house in order. Whenever any issues emerge, we handle them. So when the party like ours says, you know, there are many fights in a particular sub-region, let some leaders step aside for a few days or for a few months or for a short time, and we investigate, try to understand what is causing these things so that we focus on the major issue. Please understand that that is necessary for the growth of an institution like the National Unity Platform. The naysayers are there, they will say whatever they want to say, but for us, we are here to move forward. So those are, I think, the issues I wanted to address today before I invite our Deputy President. But most importantly, to also bring you greetings from our President, who is handling other business. Our President says hello to all of you, and he's with you in spirit, even when he's not here with us today. Ensonga enkulu gye twali badde twogerako olunaku lwa leero yeeyo kuba nti eggwanga lyaffe likyali mu crisis, likyali mu katyabaga, likyali mu buzibu bwa maanyi nnyo. Ebigenda mu maaso mu NSSF mwena abakozi abakola mu private entities okusingira ddala bwe mutereka ensimbi zammwe mubiwulidde. Bw'obisoma oyinza okulowooza nti osoma akatabo aka fiction, naye ate nga bituufu. Mulabe ebbaluwa ya omu ku baminisita ba Mwai Museveni nga ye kennyini ayogera ku mivuyo nti bw'otunulamu nnyo kirabika eyo NSSF oluvannyuma lw'okubba ssente n'okubulanganya ssente abavugirizi b'ensimbi ze bawa Uganda, kati n'abavugirizi b'ensimbi ne bagamba nti bagala omukono gwabwe baguyingiza mu nsawo ya NSSF. Kati ye fight naye kati oyina gabbi agagala kuyingira gaberenga. Simanyi oba ensonga za NSSF muzigoberera bulungi nnyo bannange. Kati we obuzibu nti waliwo mubbi n'agabbi, kati agabbi gagala kuyingirawo, gagala kyabikamwe mubbi ennyo, kati muveewo naffe tukole ki? Tuyingirewo. Kakati obwe buzibu owulira byonna byonna bwe bitandika bagamba kati twagala kukwata ku ssente za NSSF, simanyi tuseeke mu agriculture n'ebirala, so nga ffenna tumanyi gye bigenda kuggwera. Ebbanja lye tulina ng'eggwanga lyeyongera waggulu, era kati we twogerera obutabalika ze trillions tuli eyo mu 8. juzi bakola reporta ne bagamba nti buli munnayuganda no yakazaalibwa olunaku lwa leero alina ebbanja lya kakadde kamu kitundu 1.5 million shillings, ate nga buli mwaka zeeyongera waggulu. Kati imagininga buli omu ali wano naawe abazaalibwa leero okuba nti buli omu bakubanja miliyoni mu kitundu. Ekyo tekyali wadde kizibu, naye bw'obuuza sente zino ze mwewola mu linnya lyaffe muzikozesa ki? Honorable Ssenyonyi akyogeddeko, mulabye proposal gye baleese mu KCCA mbwagala Honorable Speaker ali wano asobola n'obinyonyola bulungi nnyo. Kati kilomita y'enguudo mu Kampala bagala gikolera sente meka? You can imagine. Sente bwe zityo. So nga tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti bwe tuba nga tetuli mu corrupt environment, tusobola n'okusavinga 80 or 70% of that money ne zigenda ku bintu eby'omugaso mu ggwanga lyaffe. Embeera y'amalwaliro mugimanyi bulungi nnyo, n'ey'ebyenjigiriza. Ebyenjigiriza byo biri even worse. Owulira nti buli mwana ali mu UP school bamusasulira sente eziri wansi omutwalo gwa Uganda buli mwaka okumala omwaka mulamba. Simanyi sama Uganda oba omwana wo ali mu UP school, naye omwana wo abali mu UP school bamusasulira just mutwalo gumu omwaka okuva January paka December. Kakati lwaki twewunya okuba nti abaana abasinga tebatukana mu P4 bava mu ssomero mu P7. Mbadde ndaba badde ng'esuubiza byonna basuubizako one time nti bano abawala bonna bagenda bafunira pad sanitary towels. Kakati olaba sente ze babba n'ebirala singa bagezaako ne bakwata ne 1% okuziteeka mu projects ezo ezaali badde ziyamba abaana b'obuwala okusigala mu masomero, oba oliawo tebali droppings out mu masomero, naye bali mu kuzidibuuda, bali ku muddido. Ku nsonga ya debt njogeddeko, ya NSSF njogeddeko, n'ensonga ya budget. N'olwekyo crisis ekyagenda mu maaso mu ggwanga lyaffe, era kyova olaba guno mwaka president waffe yabagamba nti guno mwaka gwa revolution, guno mwaka gwa struggle. Chairman abagambe guno mwaka gwa kunga. Tujja kugenda mu maaso n'okunga lyonna olwo nno tusimbudde n'ensonga ya structures, tugenda kuzimba structures zaffe mu buli kitundu kya Uganda kyonna. Tumanyi bulungi nnyo nti regimu ya Mwami Museveni egenda gezaako nga bulijjo okukwata abantu baffe n'okukola byonna okuinfiltrating n'ebirala, naye naffe tuli ready. Abasajja abalala ba Bright Muhumuza abavudde mu Western Uganda katusubire bagenda kuleeta obukodyo obw'enjawulo baguda okulaba ng'ensonga ezo tulwanagana nazo. N'abundi bujjo mwena muli bangi ne sekondo omulaba okuviira ddala Omoro. I was recognizing this, I was not insulting you because I spoke in Luganda. So tujja kugenda mu maaso okuzimba structures n'omwaka n'okutereeza buli kintu ekintu abamawulire kyabadde batubuuza nnyo. Tetulina butakwatagana mu NUP nga bamugezaako kiprojectinga. Abantu bagezaako nnyo kuva mu lugimu nnyo. Ffe nga NUP tukkiriza nti ensonga yonna eneebeerawo tugihandolinge ereme tujja ku mulamwa we tuliko. N'olwekyo abakulembeze baffe bwe bafuna obutakwatagana mu region yonna yonna, ekibiina ne kitula ne kisalawo nti kati bano abakulembeze oba oli basooke badde mabbali tusobole okugonjoola. Kiba tekitegeeza butakwatagana. Era akakiiko pulezidenti waffe ke yateekako okunoonyereza ku mivuyo egibaddeeyo kagenda maaso n'emirimu gyako, era tumanyi bulungi nnyo kajja tuwa ekisingako tulabe nga ekibiina kyaffe naye okusingira ddala revolution egenda mu maaso. People power, our power. Njagala kwebaza mwenna abazze wano leero, abakulembeze baffe kuva mu bitundu by'enjawulo by'eggwanga, mwebale nnyo emirimu, ababaka ba parliament, basipiika, abameeya n'abalala abagezaako okutudistractinga tetubawa amatu. I don't believe that we should give ears to our detractors. Let us continue moving. Museveni ne system ye bakozeseza nnyo division. ne propaganda. Mwena wamanyi regime no bwekoze ekozesa divisions nnyo ebina byobufuzi sponsoring divisions amadini eleta divisions buli civil society organizations divisions owulira academia n'ebirala. Tetukkiriza abananga ba NUP okuwuliriza abo abantu, tusigale ku mulamwa. Abo aboogera ebyo olunaku lwaleero bajja kuzuukuka batusange nga we batuleka tetukyaliwo ate tuli mu ntebe nga Uganda tugitwala mu maaso. People power. Maybe I invite Deputy President Jole Mugisha to come and speak to us. Mumuwe obugalo nga bajja okwogerako gye tuli.
People power. The Secretary General, spokesperson Sebo, I can see you talking. Members of Parliament here present, our leaders from the regions, Northern Region, Western Region, Teso, and many other regions of Uganda. The leaders at various levels, I can see. Today I'm very happy I have seen this Kawempe.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power. The chairperson of what is your constituency, Honorable Flavia? The chairperson, where is she? Oh, she has left. Cassandra, and many other leaders here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. People power. People power. This is a new year that requires us to be strong, and even stronger and strongest, as we used to learn in primary schools. Well, everything has been said. Everything has been said. They have mentioned the poor state in which our country is, Uganda. If you look at the hospitals, I'll begin from there. I come from Western Uganda, and I know many Ugandans across the nation who come from outside Western region think that things are better in Western Uganda. But those of you who read or follow social media and read news and so on, you saw the very person who is supposed to be a spokesperson of NRM government being airlifted from a hospital in Kanungu. I don't know whether we can call that a hospital. But ladies and gentlemen, the hospitals in Western Uganda are the same as those I saw in Omoro. I went to Omoro during the by-election. I saw grass, very, very tall grass, growing where there used to be a railway line. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, most of you are young, but there used to be a railway line that used to run from Pakwach through Omoro, near the red speakers, you know, homestead. And I don't think he ever mentioned it. I saw very tall grass. I even took pictures and shared them with some people and wondered how a leader could not mention such a thing. So you saw this minister, because he could not survive in a Kambuga hospital, and yet he expects the people who elected him, that is if they did, to go to that hospital, ladies and gentlemen. So the things have been talked about, the poor state of the schools. Everything in Uganda is poor, beginning from roads. Over Christmas, I visited a certain constituency, it is called Rushenyi. Those of you know who know Western Uganda. And that constituency used to have a very, very powerful member of parliament, NRM, a minister, Rukutan, right? Now they have an NRM member of parliament. I found her with the hand hoe on 30th December
with a group of young boys, you know, and 2 old men trying to fill up potholes along the road from, you know, on that stretch of road. I said, Honorable, you people are the ones in power. How can you, in this century, come up with a hand on this road? So everything in Uganda is bad. I went to Kasese when we were campaigning for Honorable Mbaju. Oh my God. You people need to go to these countrysides and find out. Because you members of the press, you know, you report mostly what is happening in Kampala, but you don't know what happens out there. I saw God Mbaju. It's bad you didn't go through. I don't know whether that guy, that gentleman who went through what he's doing for the people of Kasese. Now, human rights, they have talked about it. Do you know that drones have entered Mbarara also, where you think that it is very safe? Drones have gone to Mbarara, and that is where everyone believes is safe. And now that they have entered there, where you think it is safe, what about other areas? I also want to call upon to add my voice to what Chairman Nyanzi has said. If you ever see any drone trying to take up your people, please get up. We can fight. Or even when you fight, they will take you, right? If you keep quiet, they will take you. You talk, they will take you. So I want to call upon Ugandans today in this year, this new year, they should not take us with our arms down. Let us get up. If we see drones taking our people, we get up and fight them. Let's fight back. And surely they will know that we also have some strength of some sort. Of course, we can't talk about the schools. Education system, you know, me when I was growing up, you know, students from schools used to get grade 1 from schools as far as Kisoro. We have somebody from Kisoro this afternoon. I'd like to recognize him. Child, stand up and wave to the people. As far as Kisoro, people would get grade 1. But now, if you look at the trend of things, results are about to come. You'll see Kampala schools, maybe those ones, their own children, by the way, because they are the ones who can afford money, you know, all the high fees in private schools, and after all, the schools belong to them. So you'll see the rural schools, of course, would be called poor performance and so on. And yet, if you look at how the teaching is being conducted, what happens in the schools, the feeding and so on, the distance children have to walk. You know, I was reading, was it in Karangara or some area, where during exams for senior 4, the students could not cross the bridge because it rained and then there was no road, the bridges went, and then they had to, you know, to miss exams. So everything in Uganda is what? Is very poor. And the responsibility is upon us, Ugandans. Those, of course, I know there are many people there whom you talk and they say, for you, what are you talking about? Because they want the status quo to remain. Because for them, they are thriving in the system. But I want to call upon you and I who are not there. Those of you who think you are safe, I know in one way or another you are being touched. If your child is not going to a poor school, your mother is going to a bad hospital. If your mother is not going to a bad hospital, your father is being tortured. Your brother is being tortured here and there. There are so many things on the bad roads, accidents. I don't know how many accidents how many lives have, been claimed by accidents. Why don't we hear accidents happening in Kenya? Because their road system is good and so on. Why don't we hear about accidents in Rwanda? A baby country, Rwanda, which started in 1994. And yet our is in the shape it is. So I want to call upon who think that for you are safe. Because either your child has been recruited by the new authority, that is if they have, or Uganda Roads Authority, or where But in one way or another, I know all of us are being touched. Ladies and gentlemen, the stories are long. I want to thank all of you for putting up a good fight. Thank you so much. I want to thank the members, especially the supporters in the community out there. I know sometimes we don't meet your expectations. You make phone calls, especially mine from Western Uganda. Sometimes I have nothing to say. You know, you are calling now and again, and I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much. I recognize you. All of you, I can see you here. Thank you so much for the good fight. I want to thank the Secretariat. You people, clap for the Secretary General so loudly. This man is carrying the whole country on his shoulders. You call him, he's talking to this, he's talking to that, but everything moves. Thank you so much. You are doing well. Of course, to His Excellency, our President, there are no words that can explain the resilience. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for putting up the resilience that you have done. Many people would have given up, because each time you read on social media, you know, they say, what war plan agenda put to murder the president? What war plan agenda kumkwatara simanyiwa? So please, thank you so much, Your Excellency, for pushing against a very hard rock. But I believe that as sure as I am standing here, we shall reach Entebbe Muntebbe. You know why? You know why? Ugandans are tired. Uganda bako baruhire mwenu. Abanyarwanda bakabire. Baruhire. So there is only one word I can say. In 2023, Museveni worry. You Bacho, don't you say worry. Worry, him and his team worry, bagenda. Because Uganda belongs to all of us, you can see the propaganda now now let it be our slogan in 2023 that bakorechi bagende worry. What is it in Rukonjo Katika? Baende bakorechi baende. Thank you so much. I am not going to put in a Runyankore, because after all, these people, are they going to write it in a Runyankore? Runyankore twagira slogan yitu bagende ahagwo kuba abantu abanyarwanda barihire barihirogoro barahamashomero mabi barenga utombi barahamarwaro mabi murebere minister bamukiriza mbasha. How many Ugandans can be airlifted for treatment? You people, even in the press, whose relative has been airlifted for treatment? So if you are as tired and angry as we are, please wake up and join us so that Bakorechi bagende. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Jolie. It's coming to 2. I think let's end. We want to have done. Thank you for coming out. We stand and do the national anthem and we. Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy heart. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda. People power. Our power. Our power. People power. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.